Hello traders and investors, welcome back to the Trend Trader channel. Today I want to give you the last and final update on the 10,000 Rand stock trading challenge that we took in July 2021. So in the last video that we made on January 1st, we mentioned that we had managed to close 13 positions, but we also had other positions that were still open. We also mentioned that we'll now be increasing the value of the challenge from 10,000 Rand to 27,000 Rand. So now as we're getting more buy signals from the strategy, it was becoming a bit of a challenge to do a proper risk management, since we have some positions that are open from the previous challenge, and we also didn't want to add to those existing positions because they were not offering a favorable risk to reward ratio. So to solve that problem, we decided that we're just going to close all the remaining positions. It didn't matter where the price was. Most of those positions, they hadn't hit the take profit level, but we wanted to close those trades so that we can move on and then start on a clean slate. As you can see on this video, we had the last trade that we closed was Sasol, which was closed sometime. I think it was closed somewhere in 2021. As you can see there, it was a loss of about 141 Rand that we took on that position. So today I just want to walk you through to show you the full result now with the new equity balance that we have after closing the remaining positions, and maybe touch a bit of the stats and see where we can improve moving forward. Okay. So now remember the last time we had only about up to 13 stocks that we had closed. The last trade that we closed was Sasol there with the close of 141 Rand, but we still had positions on Thungela, Remgro, PPC, PSG, South 32. We bought some Sasol again. After we closed this losing position, we bought Sasol again, and then we still had a position on ArcelorMittal, right? So all of these positions, the only positions that we closed earlier was the Thungela position there. We tweeted this. So our target for Thungela was 100 Rand. We were targeting 100 Rand, but the price went up all the way to about 92 Rand per share. Then it started to pull back. So now, because, well, we're not saying that Thungela wasn't going to go to our target of 100 Rand per share, but also we wanted to preserve some cash. We also saw another buy opportunity elsewhere. So we needed that cash so that we can invest in another opportunity. But when we closed that Thungela trade, we took an R of 2.07. So we're able to make money from that position. So which is not a big deal now. So we are happy with that position that we were able to exit it with a bit of money. As you can see, the position was up by 20.67%, and because it's 2R, we were able to make about 882 Rand profit from that position that we closed earlier. So now with the other remaining positions, we do pyramid, meaning that we do add on to our profitable position. That is why we had two positions on Remgro. We bought Remgro a bit earlier. We entered the position at about 113 Rand or 114 Rand per share. And then the second buy, we bought Remgro at 126 Rand per share, as we saw that the share price was moving up. So the first position gave us a plus 4R there, which gave us a nice 620 Rand profit. But the last trade, as you can see, we only exited at about 135 Rand, which just gave us a plus 1R, but still we're happy to get that 121 Rand profit. So the total of these two trades is about 708. So we are happy with the return there. Same with ShopRite. We had two entry opportunities with ShopRite, even though these ones were closer to each other. We first bought ShopRite, which was an addition, but for the purpose of the 10K challenge, the last tranche of, or the first tranche of ShopRite that we bought it at 193, and the second tranche we bought it at 197. So you see both trades gave us about a plus 1R. So if you look at this, we didn't buy enough shares. As you can see, we only bought about 13.35 shares. Remember, we're using EasyEquities, so they are fractional shares, but we initially bought 13 shares. Then when we sold some of our losing positions there, we used that capital to add into our ShopRite position. We are still bullish on ShopRite, as you know that we have ShopRite in our dividend portfolio, which we have spoken about in the past. And that ShopRite position, it's about 20% of our dividend yield portfolio. So yeah, we are bullish on ShopRite, in case you are wondering. So we bought the second tranche, we got more shares there, about 21 shares. And then both positions gave us a profit that is just close to about 600 Rand, but each position gave us about 230. One gave us 230, the other gave us 290. So that's an average of about 250 per position there. And then the other positions that we had the PPC position, which also gave us a nice profit of 670. We have a PSG position that the position is still starting. We are still bullish on PSG. We saw that PSG is just starting to recover, but at this moment we are looking at this, we only managed to get about 10% or 11% from that position. And then we have a position on South 32, which grew to about 18.27%, gave us a nice 300 Rand profit there. The one star performer was ArcelorMittal. We wanted to get in at about 7 Rand, but we missed it. We only get an entry at about 8 Rand 11 cent, and then we exited at 10 Rand 42 cent, which gave us a nice 28% profit, and then that translated to 460 Rand profit for that total position. So now we closed all these positions there, meaning that this challenge is complete there. Then when you look at the numbers, the average gain dropped a bit. Remember, you see now we have a lot of plus 1R. That's because some of these positions didn't even reach our target, and most of our trades have a target of a risk to reward of 1:3. So most of the time we are targeting a plus 3R, but since we wanted to close these positions, so now that reduced the average gain that we see there, because we didn't take any loss. We only have the 5 losses from the past trades. So the average loss is still up there at about 10.61%. And then the average gain in terms of rents, it's about 400 Rand, and we are losing about 265 Rand in the position. Remember that we took a large loss on Steinhoff. We took a loss of about 651 Rand. So we've been trying to close that gap with a higher profit, and also trying to reduce our losses there so that you can reduce this average from 651 Rand. So we only managed to reduce it to about 264 Rand. Then in terms of R, if we do a sum of all these Rs, we got a positive R of about plus 49. So meaning that we were profitable. We're happy with this number. It shows that the system is profitable, but also with the number of trades, we only took about 23 trades in that about a 7 months period. Well, it's not full 7 months because we are still mid-January 2022, but it's about 6.5 months. We only took 23 trades, and then we have a positive expectancy, meaning that every 1 Rand that we risk, we have an opportunity to make about 2 Rand 14 cent from there, which is good. So now we know that you are trading a system that has an edge. Then when you look at the balance there, like we said, we took 22 trades. We started with 10,000 Rand, and then the final balance in our portfolio, it's 15,816 Rand, meaning that we returned 58.16%. So these are just the profit and the R's and the return on investment from this tab. So it's still the same information, but we wanted to plot it nicely so that you can see. So now if you look at the equity curve, remember we mentioned that we started with a loss, so we dipped to about 9,100, and then from there we started to recover. We broke even at just about the 4th trade. We were closer to 10,000 Rand again. We went above 10,000 before giving back some of that profit to start again there. So since then we saw a nice growth in our equity curve, even though though there was a slight drawdown there when we took those losses around November, but we managed to come back. Remember the last time we made the presentation, we said that we were sitting at about 12,100 and something, which was about 21%. So now all these positions, they give us a final balance of 15,816 rand, which is about 58%. So we are happy with this performance. We can see this equity curve, but don't be too excited. The equity curve does not always grow in a straight line. As you can see, from time to time, there will be pullbacks there as we take some losses, but we are happy with this. And then, as you can see, in terms of risk to reward, we're always targeting a risk reward of 1:3, but we mentioned in the past that we took a large loss on Steinhoff, which was our first trade. But for the rest of the other trades, we tried to maintain a risk of -1R. And then for positive R, we wanted to maintain an average of +3R. But as you can see, the last few trades that we closed, some of that is even less than 2R. But we are still happy that we were profitable despite this, not even though we didn't get the risk to reward that we wanted. And then in terms of return on investment for all these trades, let me adjust it properly. So you see the first loss was about 22.45% there that we took, and then we took about a 10% loss. We tried not to exceed a -10% share price drop whenever we take a position. And then, as you can see, the average, the lowest that we returned was 4.77%. I just want to see which trade was that. Maybe it was an additional trade that we took. So it's trade number 12. Let's see what is trade number 12. Okay, so we have a position there on Braid. Okay, this does not make sense because the R there, it's 5.77, not 4.77. Well, I don't know where that number is coming from, but I don't have a trade that, okay, no, this is 4.77%, and the return in terms of R is 0.57. So let's see. Okay, I still don't see where we returned a 0.57. Okay, this is a trade. It's transaction capital. So we closed that trade for 111 rand profit. The share price has only grown by about 4.77% there. So that's one of that position that gave us the lowest return in terms of percentage, the trade that we see here. Okay, but this one gave us 49.30, which was the highest amount that we returned. So we've already covered this in the past, but this was just to show you that after we closed all our positions, this is how the portfolio has grown. So that's the update that we wanted to give you today. Remember that past performance is not indicative of the future. We may have been lucky or fortunate to find those trades that gave us that 58% return. Moving forward into the future, what we're going to do, we're going to stick to the same strategy. We're going to wait for the market to give us opportunities. We won't just jump and take trades that we didn't plan to take. That is just a sign of a discipline, and we believe that it contributed positively into this challenge. And then another thing, okay, we said that we're going to stick to the strategy. We're still going to continue to practice a sound risk and money management. By risk management, we mean that we try not to lose more than 10% per position if the market goes in the opposite direction, but also to allow the share price to grow at least by 3 times the risk that you're taking on each position. So if we can manage to do that, and then we can be able to generate some money in the long run. As you can see now, because we closed some of these trades before the stop loss was hit, this increased the win rate to 78%. I think the previous win rate that we reported was about 64% or so. But now we don't want to give you the impression that we have a strategy that has a high win rate. Yes, it's nice to have a high win rate, but to us, what is important is the size of the gain and also the size of the losses, because that gives us a chance to see if we have an edge or we have a positive expectancy there in the numbers when we do it. But yes, it's nice to see that as you can see, the last few trades, they were just profitable. Well, when we exited them, we were still in the money, and we only have about 5 losses out of 23 trades, which is why we have a win rate of 78%. We are happy with this, but we don't want to give you the impression that we cannot be wrong in the market. As you can see, we took enough losses to show that you can lose money in the market. Okay, so this challenge was done on EasyEquities so that people can know that even the average person can make money in the stock market using EasyEquities without using products such as leveraged contract for differences. Some people, experienced people, they can trade leveraged CFDs without any issues. But for beginner investors or beginner traders, it's much better to stay away from leverage, because remember, if you have leverage, you have a chance of improving your profits because they are multiplied by whatever leverage that you use. But also the opposite is that you can also easily hit your stop loss, or you can even lose just a lot of money compared to when you're trading non-leveraged product. Right, yeah, like we said, you can trade the JSE shares. Most of the positions that we have here, they came from the JSE top 40, especially the last positions, because we saw that with Steinhoff, at that time Steinhoff was not part of the JSE top 40. It's probably part of the JSE top 100, but not the top 40. So we will try to stay away from penny shares. We understand that penny shares, if they are moving, they can give you like quick returns. They can easily go beyond 100% plus returns. But also they come with, you are always open to risk. The volatility of those shares, remember, volatility is two-sided. We are more interested in positive volatility, meaning that we are interested in seeing a huge price spikes on the upside. We don't want to see spikes on the downside. But we're not saying that there's something wrong with trading penny stocks. Whenever we see opportunities and a nice chart set up on penny stocks, we will consider those trades as well. As you can see, we just made money on ArcelorMittal, right? Even though the R is a bit low, but in terms of the rand value, we're able to get about 460 rand from that position. So we are happy with it. We are not negative on penny stocks. So we hope that now you can see that anyone can trade the stock market. I mean, we know you guys are already good traders, but we just wanted to show you that if you can just set a goal and then try to stick to your strategy, practice sound risk and money management, it's possible to grow your money. We're not saying that you're gonna grow your capital by half in 6 or 7 months. Anything is possible. Opportunities, they come and go. This is what the market gave us in the last 6.5 months. Moving forward in 2022, we don't know where our next opportunities are going to come from. We don't know how much are we going to be able to grow our capital. But this is all in the past. So the people that have been watching our YouTube channel since we started the YouTube channel, some of you guys, you do give us feedback that we appreciate. Some of the feedback is obviously positive. We really appreciate that. Some of you guys, you said that your performance improved a bit if you do take some of the opportunities that we share. We're not saying that by following our trades you're going to make money. We're just saying that some of the trades that we share with you, they do make money. Some of the trades, they don't make money. And which with each and every analysis that we do, if you look at the technicals, we always tell you where we think that you're going to take the trade, the entry position, the entry price, and also the exit price, whether we're having a stop loss or we're having a target there. We always share that with you. So we do have a lot of losses in our trading account. That's because we do not allow our losses to grow or to become large. We always want to make sure that we minimize them so that we can quickly arrest any drawdown. As you can see here, we're at the top of about 12,318, and then our drawdown was 12,152. So you can see that the difference, it's about 200 rand or so. So if we allowed these losses to continue, they can drag the equity curve lower. It's difficult to then again grow that equity curve. So it's important for us that we stop that drawdown, that it does not become so huge that it becomes a challenge to come back to the recent equity high before breaking above that equity high. Just like we like trading stocks in an uptrend, we also like to see our equity curve growing from left hand side all the way to the top right hand side. So at this moment, we are happy with this. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. We'll be covering the 27,000 Rand stock trading challenge from now on. Moving forward, we're still going to make videos to give you update on the dividend portfolio. We're still going to do a lot of other things in the channel, answering your questions and also doing a stock analysis depending on what we see in the market. Sometimes we do stock analysis of where people have requested a chart or something. So a lot of content is still coming there. So make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss all that content. Thank you. We will see you on the next video.